Welcome to Sleepy Science. Tonight, I want to take you into a place you visit every night but almost never understand. Dreams, those strange little movies your mind makes when the world is quiet. As you lie down, get ready to feel your eyes grow heavy, because the facts you're about to hear are some of the most relaxing and mysterious things about dreaming. Things that will make you say, "Wait, how is that even possible?" But they will gently guide you deeper towards sleep. So take a slow breath, settle in, and let's step into the quiet world of dreams. And before we drift too far, make sure to subscribe so you never miss another sleepy journey. Dreaming is one of the biggest mysteries of the human mind. Scientists still cannot fully explain why we dream, how dreams form, or why they sometimes feel more real than life. Every time you close your eyes and fall asleep, your brain enters a hidden world, one where time bends, memories mix, and impossible things feel normal. Dreams are like secret messages from your mind, written in a language no one has fully cracked yet. When you close your eyes at night, something soft begins to happen inside you. Your mind starts to loosen its grip on the day. Thoughts that once felt loud now feel quiet. Your body grows still, and your breath becomes slow. You might not notice the change right away, but your brain has already started its gentle work. It begins to slide from the busy world you know into a lighter space where you no longer have to think so hard. This is the moment when dreaming slowly begins to form. It doesn't rush. It takes its time, and it pulls you in without you even knowing. Your brain starts by lowering the lights inside your mind. The parts that deal with planning, worrying, and figuring things out take a step back. They have done their job all day. Now they want to rest. Other parts begin to rise, the ones that hold your memories, your feelings, and your imagination. They become brighter, ready to create something new. It is like a quiet hand opening a door inside your head. A soft door that leads to a world that feels familiar and strange at the same time. As you start to fall deeper into this early stage of sleep, your thoughts lose their structure. They no longer line up like they do when you are awake. They begin to float around. One idea blends with another. Small images appear and disappear. Bits of sound echo. Pieces of memory slip in. You may not realize it, but this is your mind warming up. It is the start of dream activity, like the first colors appearing before a sunrise. You might feel your body twitch for a moment. That tiny jump is your muscles letting go. Your brain is checking each part of you, making sure everything is safe before it creates a dream. It sends signals that tell your arms and legs to relax. Your heartbeat slows. Your temperature drops just a little. All these quiet changes tell your brain that it is finally time to begin the work of sleep. During this early phase, your brain still holds a small window open to the outside world. You may hear a sound far away or remember something from your day. These things can slip into the early layers of your dream. A sound in your room might turn into a sound in the dream you're about to enter. A memory from your morning might float by for a second. It's not random. Your brain is gently sorting, deciding what to keep and what to let go of. It is getting ready to weave the pieces together. Then something even more interesting begins. Your sense of time starts to change. When you are awake, your brain watches every second. But now it starts to relax that rule. You might feel like only a moment has passed, but your brain has already moved into the deeper parts of sleep. This is the doorway where dreams begin to take shape. It is the place where your mind stops holding on to real time and starts creating its own. In this stage, the first dream threads form quietly. They do not appear as full scenes. They start as soft flashes, maybe a face, a place you know, a color you like, a sound you once heard. Your brain picks these pieces because they are easy to work with. They help you fall deeper. It is like the mind is gathering materials before building the dream story. These early images may feel simple, but they guide you toward the deeper dream world that waits ahead. One of the most calming things about this stage is how your emotions begin to soften. Your brain gently takes the weight off feelings that might have bothered you during the day. It slows them down. It quiets them. It tucks them away so you can rest. This emotional quiet is what helps your mind create dreams that feel smooth and calm. It is your brain's way of giving you space to breathe in a world where nothing is rushed. The early dreaming phase also helps your brain decide what memories from the day should stay and what should fade. It remembers small details you barely noticed. It sorts out thoughts that you didn't finish. It takes your experiences and starts to place them where they belong. This is why sometimes the early part of your dream feels like random leftovers from your day. Your brain is simply cleaning and organizing, preparing you for deeper dreams where the real stories begin. As you move deeper, the edges of reality softly fade. You no longer feel the room around you. You no longer hear the sounds the same way. You no longer think with the same structure. You start to let go. Not suddenly, but slowly, like slipping into warm water. Your brain begins to create spaces that don't follow the rules of the waking world. These spaces may hold familiar things, but they behave in unfamiliar ways. And your mind accepts it without question, because in this stage, everything feels safe. Your body stays still while your mind becomes active. This balance is important. Your brain makes sure you don't act out your dreams. It protects you. It wants you to rest. So it keeps your muscles calm while it prepares the dream. You do not feel trapped. You feel quiet. Your brain is simply building a safe space where your mind can wander freely. The early part of dreaming is also the moment when your imagination grows stronger than your logic. You stop checking if things make sense. You stop correcting yourself. You allow the mind to play. This is why dreams can feel so real, even when they make no sense at all. Your brain is free to create without limits. It paints scenes, shapes moments, and brings together things that would never meet in real life. And you accept all of it because this is the world your mind builds for rest. As this stage continues, you may notice a soft feeling of release. You feel lighter, as if something inside you is letting go of the day. You don't have to solve anything. You don't have to remember anything. You just float in your own thoughts, and your brain carries you without effort. This gentle rise into the dream world is one of the most peaceful things your mind does for you. Soon, these early images become deeper. The soft flashes turn into scenes, shapes turn into moments, feelings turn into stories. Your brain steps fully into the dream-making state, and the world of waking life becomes distant. It's not gone. It just no longer matters. Your brain has chosen a new space, one made for rest, healing, and imagination. You may not remember this early phase when you wake, but it is one of the most important parts of sleeping. It is the bridge that carries you from the real world into the dream world. Without this gentle beginning, your dreams would feel incomplete. This stage prepares you, protects you, and guides you into a deeper place where the true dreams begin to grow. When you enter the dream world, something unusual starts to happen. Your brain begins to play by rules that are completely different from the ones you know when you are awake. Time stretches. Places shift. People appear and disappear without warning. Yet somehow none of it feels wrong. Everything feels normal inside the dream, even when it makes no sense at all. This strange logic is one of the most fascinating parts of dreaming, and your mind accepts it with ease. Your brain does this because the part that checks facts and looks for mistakes becomes quiet during sleep. When you are awake, that part of your mind is always active. It watches everything, making sure things are real and correct. But when you sleep, that system rests. It stops judging. It stops questioning. It stops comparing things to reality. With that guard down, the dream world becomes a place where anything can happen, and you simply allow it. Imagine walking from your bedroom straight into a beach without opening a door. In real life, you would question it right away. But in a dream, you just accept it. You don't argue with it. The scene changes and you move with it. Your brain loves to blend memories, places, and feelings into one soft moment. It pulls a piece from today, a piece from years ago, and something from your imagination, and it builds a scene that feels natural, even though it breaks every rule you know. Time is one of the first things that loses structure. In dreams, a single moment can feel like an hour. A whole story can happen in seconds. You can be a child in one moment and an adult in the next. There is no timeline. The past and present sit together. Events mix and fold into each other. Your brain doesn't try to keep time in order because dreams aren't meant to follow clocks. They follow emotion instead. They follow memory. They follow whatever your mind feels ready to explore. Space also changes in strange ways. A room can be bigger inside than it looks from the outside. A hallway might lead to a completely different city. You might look at a door, open it, and find a place you have never been to. Instead of correcting these moments, your mind encourages them. The dream world bends space because your brain is not copying real life. It is creating its own world from pieces of everything you have seen, heard, or imagined. You may meet people who flicker in and out like fading pictures. They appear for a moment, talk to you, then vanish without a reason. They might look like someone you know, but act like someone you don't. Or they might be a mix of different faces you've seen before. This happens because your brain doesn't build characters the way it builds real people. It collects bits of memory and shapes them into something quick and useful for the dream story. What makes all of this even more interesting is how comfortable you feel with it. When something strange happens in a dream, you rarely question it. If you start flying, you don't stop to ask how. If someone speaks in a language you don't know, you understand them anyway. If the sun rises in seconds, you don't panic. You simply accept the moment. Your brain treats the impossible as normal because the usual rules of thinking are quiet. Your mind wants the dream to continue, not stop. This strange logic also helps your brain express things it cannot say directly. Instead of showing you a clear message, it uses symbols and scenes that bend reality. It might change the size of an object to show importance. It might repeat a place to show a feeling. It might take you somewhere you haven't visited in years. These things feel odd, but they carry meaning shaped by your own experiences. Your brain uses dream logic to explore thoughts you might ignore during the day. Sometimes you might notice that people in your dream act in surprising ways. A friend might behave like a stranger might behave like a close friend. Someone might change appearance completely, and you still know exactly who they are. This is because your brain focuses on the feeling of the person, not the exact details. It builds the dream version of someone using emotion instead of accuracy. That's why everything feels familiar, even when details are mixed. Objects also behave in odd ways. A phone might melt, a door might shrink, a book might have blank pages, then fill with words when you open it again. Your brain does this because it is not following the logic of the real world. It is following the logic of imagination. Things adjust to the story your mind wants to tell. They change shape to match the emotion of the moment. This keeps the dream flowing even when nothing matches the rules of physics. Even your own body behaves differently in dreams. You might run but feel slow. You might jump higher than possible. You might feel heavy or light without reason. Your mind is not using your real body to measure these things. It is using memory. It is using sensation. It is using ideas that are not tied to physical limits. You might also notice that your dreams fade when you try to focus too hard on something. If you look too closely at a sign or try to read a word, it might blur or change. If you try to hold on to an object, it might slip away. If you ask a dream person a direct question, they might give an answer that makes no sense. This happens because deep focus is a waking skill. When you try to use it in a dream, your brain struggles to keep the scene stable. The dream world wants you to move with it, not stop and analyze it. One of the most relaxing things about dream logic is that it removes pressure. There is no need to solve anything. There is no need to plan. Nothing has to be correct. You are simply moving through moments created by your mind. The story flows around you without effort. You don't need to control it. You don't need to understand it. You just experience it. This strange logic also protects your rest. If dreams followed real rules, your brain would work too hard. It would check every detail. It would correct mistakes. It would stay alert. Instead, your mind uses a soft, loose logic that keeps you calm. It gives you a world that feels real enough to hold your attention, but relaxed enough to let your body stay asleep. This balance helps your brain recover, restore energy, and process emotions without waking you. As the dream continues, the strange rules become even more natural. The world might shift again. The story might change direction. A new scene might appear without warning. You accept it all because your brain wants the dream to keep moving. This flexibility is one of the reasons dreams feel so peaceful. You are not fighting the story. You are just flowing with whatever the mind creates next. And soon, your brain will move even deeper. The dream will become a full story made from memories, feelings, and imagination. You will enter the place where your mind starts weaving meaning into the scenes you see, creating a world built just for you. When you move deeper into sleep, your brain begins to do something gentle and surprising. It starts building stories. Not full stories at first, but soft scenes made from pieces of your day, pieces of old memories, and pieces of your imagination. You might think dreams come from nowhere, but your brain is always choosing, shaping, and blending things together. It becomes a quiet storyteller, working behind the scenes while your body rests in the dark. And what it makes is a mix of truth, emotion, and memory that turns into the dream world you live in each night. Your brain is never fully silent, even when you sleep. It is always sorting through everything you saw, heard, and felt during the day. Every little moment gets placed somewhere inside your mind. Some things are important and need to stay. Some things are not important and need to fade. While your brain is sorting all that information, it creates images and sounds that slip into your dreams. They appear in broken pieces at first, like scattered puzzle parts. You might see a person from your morning, a sound from your evening, or a place you haven't visited in years. These pieces sit together until your mind gently starts to connect them. Your brain loves patterns. It loves to link things. Even when the pieces are random, your mind tries to make sense of them. It gives them a simple flow, something that feels like a story, even if it is not clear. It might take a sound from your room and place it inside your dream. It might take a feeling you ignored during the day and turn it into a scene. It does not choose these things on purpose. Everything is soft and automatic. Your brain just wants to organize your thoughts, and stories are the easiest way to do that. Feelings play a huge role in what kind of story your brain makes. If you were calm today, your dreams might feel calm too. If you were stressed, your brain might show you a strange or fast scene to release that pressure. It is not trying to scare you or confuse you. It is doing what it knows best. It is letting emotions move through pictures and moments so they don't stay stuck inside you. This is why dreams often feel emotional, even when the events make no sense. The emotion is real, and the story is just your brain's way of expressing it. You might notice that dreams sometimes feel like a movie you didn't plan. Scenes appear. People talk. Things happen in a sequence. This happens because your mind builds dreams in layers. First it forms images, then it adds movement, then it creates a small plot without you even thinking. It takes the random memories it gathered and arranges them like a film reel. There is no script, no rules, just the quiet creative work of a mind that loves to shape things into meaning. Sometimes your dreams replay moments from your real life. They add things that never happened. This is because your brain mixes memory with imagination. It blends real moments with invented pieces. It does this so it can process the things you experienced without overwhelming you. Your mind uses old memories to understand new ones. It uses imagination to fill in the spaces where things feel unfinished. And when it puts them together, the story feels strange but familiar. Sounds also play a role. A noise in your room may turn into part of the dream. A car passing outside might become a storm inside your dream world. Your mind doesn't copy the sound exactly. It transforms it into something that fits the dream scene. It uses the noise as a clue for where to move the story next. This is one of the ways your brain stays aware of your environment while still keeping you in sleep. Your brain becomes even more creative when it starts pulling older memories, You may dream about your childhood home or people you haven't seen in years. These memories come back because your brain is revisiting old information stored deep inside you. It uses these memories to strengthen connections and keep them alive. Even if the dream version of your past looks different, your mind is simply refreshing emotional details, making sure they stay part of you. It tries to sort out feelings you pushed aside during the day. Maybe you were worried about something but didn't talk about it. Maybe you felt happy about something but didn't think about it for long. In dreams, those emotions return through the scenes your brain creates. You might face a problem in your dream that you didn't face in real life. You might feel comfort from someone you miss. Your mind uses dream stories to help you understand your own feelings without putting stress on your waking thoughts. Your brain may also use dreams to practice situations. Some scientists believe the mind creates stories to test reactions. If you need courage, you may face something challenging in a dream. If you need comfort, your brain may create a calm scene. None of this is planned by you. It is the brain's natural way of learning and preparing even while you sleep. It does this quietly, without pressure, and without you even knowing it is happening. You might wonder why dream stories change so suddenly. One moment you're in a familiar place, the next moment you are somewhere else. When one memory finishes processing, your brain picks up another one. It places you in a new scene, and the story continues. This quick shifting is normal. It is your mind moving through emotional and memory layers, linking them in a way that feels smooth inside the dream, even if it looks confusing from the outside. Your brain also removes unnecessary details to keep the dream simple. It doesn't show every object or every sound the way real life does. Instead, it keeps only what matters to the story or the emotion. You may see a room without furniture. You may hear voices without faces. You may walk through a place that looks half complete. This is because your mind saves energy by showing only what helps the dream continue. Everything else fades into the background. As the dream deepens, the brain becomes more confident in its storytelling. Scenes become smoother, moments become clearer, emotions become stronger. Your mind takes full control of the story, shaping it in ways that feel natural, even though they are impossible. It builds a world where logic is soft, but emotion is strong. A world where you feel present, safe, and free to experience whatever your brain wants to show you. These dream stories are not random noise. They are part of how your brain keeps you healthy. They help you understand your feelings, clean your thoughts, and protect your memories. They help you rest more deeply by giving your mind a creative release. They let you explore without fear and feel without judgment. The story your mind creates is a gentle mirror of everything you hold inside, expressed through scenes made only for you. And soon, as the dream grows deeper, your brain will begin sorting your memories more clearly, deciding what to keep and what to release as you sleep. When you fall into deeper sleep, your brain begins one of its most important jobs. It starts cleaning. Not with hands or tools, but with tiny signals that move through your mind. This cleaning is quiet and gentle, but it shapes the way you think, remember, and feel when you wake up. Every dream you see is part of this hidden work. Your brain uses dreams to sort out your day, deal with stress, and protect the memories you truly need. What feels like a strange story at night is actually a deep form of mental care. All day long, your mind collects information. Every sound, every thought, every small moment gets stored somewhere inside you. Most of it you don't even notice, but your brain notices everything. By the time you lie down to sleep, your mind is full. It is full of tiny reactions, unfinished emotions, little problems, and random details. If your brain carried all of that into the next day, your thoughts would feel heavy and crowded. That is why sleep is not just rest, it is repair. And dreams are one of the tools your brain uses to clean and organize. When the dream begins, your brain starts to replay moments from your day. Some moments come in clear pictures, others come as soft feelings. You might dream about a conversation you had, or you might dream about the feeling of the day without any clear images. This is your brain sorting through what happened, checking which memories are worth keeping. It moves the important ones into safe storage and lets the rest fade. This is why many dreams feel familiar. They use pieces of real life, but the story changes because your brain is not copying the day. One of the most interesting things about this process is how emotions rise to the surface. Your brain cannot store memories without emotions. Feelings are what make memories strong. So when your mind decides what to keep, it also checks how each moment made you feel. A small event with a strong feeling might become an important memory. A big event with no emotion might fade quickly. This is why dreams often highlight things you didn't think about during the day. Your brain is saying, "This mattered more than you realized." While this sorting happens, your brain also cleans out stress. During the day, stress builds in layers. Some stress is loud and obvious. Some is quiet and hidden. When you sleep, your mind knows it is safe to deal with it. So it brings those feelings into your dreams, not to upset you, but to release the pressure. A dream may show you a strange situation that carries the same emotion. Your brain uses scenes to help you let go of tension without facing it directly. It translates real stress into something symbolic, something softer, something you can process while resting. This is why dreams sometimes feel intense. It is not because your brain wants to scare you. It is because it wants to empty out the stress you stored. It wants to protect you. It wants to make space for a calmer tomorrow. After these kinds of dreams, you often wake up feeling lighter, even if you don't remember what you saw. Your brain also handles old memories during sleep. Some memories are no longer useful, but they still sit inside you. You may not think about them, but they take up mental space. When you sleep, your brain looks at those old memories and quietly decides whether to keep them or release them. If they no longer help, your mind begins to fade them. Dreams sometimes use pieces of these fading memories, faces, voices, because your brain is reviewing them one last time before letting them go. It is part of the cleaning. During this process, your brain strengthens the memories that matter. It tightens the connections so they stay sharp. Skills you learn during the day become stronger at night. New knowledge becomes clearer. Things you practiced become smoother. Even emotions you want to hold on to, joy, peace, comfort, become easier to feel again. Your brain is organizing your life from the inside, carefully choosing what stays and what fades. Dreams help this process by giving your mind a place to move through these thoughts without waking you. If your brain tried to clean everything while you were awake, you would feel overwhelmed. You would be distracted and tired. So your mind waits until you are safe in sleep, when your body is still and your senses are quiet. That is when the real work happens. The dream world becomes a soft background where your brain can sort, store, and release information in peace. Memories are not the only things your brain cleans. It also cleans your thoughts. Sometimes you hold onto ideas that cause worry or confusion. Your brain knows this, and during sleep it tries to reorganize them. It looks for patterns, it looks for meaning. It looks for ways to link your thoughts in clearer ways. This is why you sometimes wake up with new ideas or answers to problems. Your brain solved them during the night, using dreams to help explore different pathways. Even the strange, random nature of dreams helps the cleaning process. When scenes jump from one place to another, your brain is actually moving through different memory networks. It is connecting things that might help you understand your life better. It is clearing out old connections and forming new ones. What looks like chaos in a dream is actually a delicate form of mental order. Your brain also uses dreams to practice emotional balance. If something upsets you during the day, your mind may show a gentle version of it at night, not to repeat the pain, but to help you face the feeling safely. This emotional cleaning allows you to wake up with more stability. You may not remember the dream, but your mind remembers the healing. As this cleaning continues, your brain becomes more relaxed. It feels lighter as the weight of the day fades. The more your mind organizes, the calmer your inner world becomes. This deep calm is what makes sleep so powerful. It gives you a fresh start every morning. It resets your thoughts, clears your emotions, and prepares your memory for new experiences. Eventually, when the cleaning is almost done, your dreams may become softer, the scenes may slow down, the emotions become quieter. Your brain has done most of the important work, and now it rests with you. What remains is a gentle space where your mind floats between images, allowing you to stay asleep while the last bits of stress melt away. Dreams are not random. They are not meaningless. They are the language your brain uses to clean, organize, and repair your inner world. Every odd scene, every familiar face, every unclear moment is part of a careful process happening behind the curtain. And as your mind moves into the next stage of sleep, it will begin creating symbols and shapes that express your deeper thoughts in ways you may not always notice, but always feel. When you fall asleep and begin to dream, your brain starts speaking in a quiet language that you don't notice when you're awake. It is not a language made of words. It is a soft language made of images, shapes, feelings, and small hints from your past. And even if it looks strange, it always comes from something real inside you. That is what makes it comforting. It is the mind showing you how it feels without needing a single sentence. Sometimes the brain picks something very simple to show a big idea. It might use a door to show a chance you didn't take. It might use an open field to show freedom. It might use a dark hallway to show confusion. The dream isn't trying to scare you or confuse you. It's simply using the things you already know to express things that are hard to say in normal life. And the brain likes using symbols because symbols are soft. They are gentle. They don't take too much energy. They let the brain talk quietly while the rest of you stays deeply calm. You might wonder why dreams use this strange picture language instead of just thinking normally. The reason is simple. In sleep, the thinking parts of your brain go quiet, the logical parts rest, the emotional parts stay awake. So the emotional brain needs a different way to communicate. Pictures are perfect for that. They are fast, they are flexible, they can mix and change without rules. And the brain can use them to show you how something feels rather than how something works. Some nights the symbols are bright and easy to understand. You see a warm space and feel safe. You see sunlight and feel hopeful. You see someone familiar and feel comfort. Other nights the symbols are less clear, but even then the meaning is never random. It always comes from somewhere inside you. It might be something you saw years ago. It might be something small from earlier in the day. It might be an emotion you didn't notice. The brain collects these small pieces and uses them to make gentle images that help you release tension without forcing you to think too hard. Think about the times you saw water in a dream. For many people, water appears when the mind wants to show emotions. But it is not a fixed rule. You might see calm water when you're relaxed. You might see quiet rain when the mind is processing small stress. You might see waves when something inside you wants more space. The dream is not telling you a secret message. It is simply choosing a symbol that matches your inner feeling, the same way a painter picks a color. The same thing happens with heights. Many people see themselves on a tall place. It is not a warning or a hidden meaning. It is just the brain showing the feeling of being unsure or overwhelmed through a simple picture. The brain uses height because everyone understands what height feels like. You know the feeling of being up high. You know the balance your body tries to keep. So the brain uses that physical memory to express something emotional. It is a calm way to let the feeling move through you without waking you up. Even people in your dreams are symbols most of the time. You dream of someone you know, not because they have a message for you, but because your brain connects that person with a certain feeling. Maybe safety, maybe tension, maybe affection, maybe confusion. Your brain uses faces like tools to help you process emotions. It is not about the real person. It is about how your mind tagged them in your memory, and dreams pick those tags to sort things out in the background. You might also notice objects repeating in dreams. A phone that doesn't work, a bag you keep losing, a place you keep returning to. They save the brain time. Instead of building a full scene or story, the brain reuses a symbol it has used before because it knows you already understand what that symbol feels like. This is why some dreams feel familiar even though they are brand new. Your brain is using its own quiet library of images. Some symbols are very old, from childhood, a hallway from your school, a toy you forgot about, a place you visited once. These memories stay stored in corners of your mind, and dreams use them because they are easy to reach. Childhood memories are powerful symbols because they were formed when your brain was still developing. They hold strong emotional colors. So your brain uses them to express feelings you might not have words for as an adult. And then there are symbols that appear only once. They come at the perfect moment when the brain needs a very specific image, maybe a boat on an empty lake, maybe a quiet train station, maybe a glowing light in a space you've never seen before. These symbols appear because your mind needed a picture that carries a feeling nothing else could match. And once that feeling is expressed and released, the symbol may never appear again. But in the moment you saw it, it served its purpose. It helped your mind breathe. What makes all of this calming is that your brain is not trying to confuse you. It is not trying to warn you. It is not trying to teach you lessons. It is simply sorting through emotions in the softest way possible. It uses pictures because pictures are gentle. They touch you without pressure. They move in and out without force. And that makes dreaming one of the most relaxing things the brain does. Sometimes dreams feel strange because symbols combine in odd ways. A place you know suddenly blends with a place you don't. A person you haven't seen in years stands beside someone you met last week. Your brain is not making mistakes. It is saving energy by using whatever images are easiest to pull up. It mixes them so the emotions can settle, like stirring water so the sand can fall to the bottom. And even if the dream feels unusual, the emotional work happening underneath is calm and healing. As you fall deeper into sleep, the symbols get softer. The images lose sharp edges. They turn into shapes, colors, and movements. This is the brain finishing its emotional sorting for the night. When the work is almost done, the dream symbols fade into feelings, and then into a quiet emptiness that lets your body rest fully. And the next time you dream, your mind will build new symbols. It will choose images that match what you felt during the day. It will pick shapes that help you let go. It will weave emotions into pictures so gently that you barely notice the work happening in the background. This is the hidden language your brain speaks each night. It is not loud. It is not complicated. It is soft, quiet, and deeply human. It is your mind taking care of you in the most peaceful way it knows. There is something almost magical about the way dreams appear and disappear. Some dreams feel so real in the moment, but then they slip away the second you open your eyes. Others stay with you for hours or even for years. And sometimes you remember only one tiny part, like a face or a sound or a small moment that keeps repeating in your mind. It makes you wonder why the brain holds on to some dreams and lets the rest fade like fog. And the answer is gentle. It has nothing to do with importance or warning. It simply has to do with how the brain saves and clears information while you sleep. When you are dreaming, the part of your brain that stores long-term memories is half asleep. It is slow. It is quiet. It is not working at full power, and that is on purpose. Your brain shuts down full memory storage to let the emotional parts do their nighttime work. Because of that, most dreams never get saved. They stay in a short-term space that clears out quickly. That is why the dream feels sharp when you are inside it, but then it melts away the second you wake up. The memory never made it into the place where your brain keeps long-lasting information. There is also a small moment right as you wake up where the brain switches modes. During that switch, there is a tiny window where the dream can either be saved or lost. If you wake up slowly, the dream might stick a little longer because your brain has a chance to grab pieces of it. But if you wake up quickly, especially from a sound or movement, the dream slips away before the brain can catch it. This is one reason many dreams vanish before you can even form a sentence about them. The timing simply wasn't right for the brain to hold on. Another gentle reason dreams fade is because of chemicals in the brain. When you sleep, certain chemicals that help with memory are lower. These chemicals rise when you are awake, but drop during dreaming. So your brain is not in save mode. It is in repair mode. It is sorting, cleaning and feeling, not storing. That is why dreams often feel emotional but rarely stay in detail. The emotional work stays inside you, but the dream images themselves fade because the brain didn't have the tools to save them all the way. But then there are dreams that stay with you. These dreams feel different. They stay in your mind when you open your eyes. They follow you into the morning, sometimes even into the afternoon. And the reason they stay is usually because something about them touched a stronger part of your memory system. Maybe the dream connected to a powerful feeling. Maybe it connected to a memory from your past. Maybe it included something your brain considers meaningful or strange. When a dream hits one of these deeper emotional systems, the brain pays attention. And even though the memory-saving part is quiet during sleep, it can still grab onto something if the emotional signal is strong enough. You may also remember dreams more clearly when they end right before you wake up. If the last thing you see in your sleep is part of the dream, your brain is still close enough to that dream activity to save a piece of it. This is why many people remember the final moments of a dream, but forget everything before it. You might remember a door closing, but not the room you were just inside. You might remember a voice, but not the whole scene. The last image was close to waking, so it survived the transition. Another thing that affects dream memory is attention. If you wake up and think about the dream right away, even for a few seconds, you give your brain time to hold on to it. But if you move too fast, look at your phone, stand up, or start your morning routine, your brain overwrites the dream with new information. And once that overwrite happens, the dream is gone. You forget dreams, not because they are pointless, but because the brain needs rest. Saving every dream would exhaust your mind. You dream many times each night, usually without noticing. Forgetting dreams is not a flaw. It is a kind act. It protects your mind from being overwhelmed. And yet the emotional work your brain does inside the dream does not fade. Even if the images vanish, the effect stays with you. You might wake up feeling lighter without knowing why. You might feel calm without remembering what happened. You might feel like something in your mind was cleaned, even though the dream is gone. This is because the brain stores the emotional lesson, but not the picture. It keeps the feeling, but lets the symbol fade away. Some dreams stay because your brain wants to remind you of something, not in a mystical way, but in a gentle, practical way. Maybe the dream touched a worry you had been ignoring. Maybe it replayed something important from the day. Maybe it used strong images to help you understand a feeling. When that happens, the brain holds on to the dream long enough for you to notice it. But it is never to scare you or confuse you. It is simply your mind trying to show you something you already knew but didn't fully feel. You may also remember dreams better when you are stressed, because stress makes the emotional parts of your brain more active. If the dream connects to that stress, your brain pays more attention. And sometimes when life feels heavy, your dreams become brighter and more vivid because the brain is trying to process everything happening inside you. Those dreams can stay in your memory longer because the emotions they work with are stronger. On the other hand, when life feels peaceful, dreams may fade quicker even if they are beautiful. Peaceful dreams do not need to be remembered to do their job. They lighten the mind without leaving a trace. This is why some of the calmest dreams are the ones you forget first. The emotional work was gentle, so the memory gently disappears. Some people remember more dreams simply because they wake up more often. Each time you wake up, you have another chance to catch the dream before it fades. People who sleep deeply through the night often forget more because they skip those little windows where the brain saves details. There is nothing wrong either way. It's just how your sleep pattern works. And sometimes a dream stays not because of meaning, but simply because it looked unusual. The brain notices unusual things. If something in the dream surprised you even a little, your mind might tag it as important and save it by accident. That is why a dream that makes no sense can still stay in your memory all day. The brain thought it was interesting, so it kept a copy. In the end, remembering or forgetting a dream is just part of the brain's nightly balance. It keeps what connects to deep emotion. It stores what wakes you gently. It forgets what was only needed in the moment. The dream may fade, but the peace it gives you stays. The story may vanish, but the healing remains. And every night your brain will decide quietly what to hold and what to let go. There is something very gentle and very mysterious about the way your brain creates people in dreams. Sometimes you see familiar faces, but other times you meet strangers you have never seen before. Their faces feel real, their voices feel real, their expressions feel real. And yet, they don't exist anywhere outside the dream. And the answer is, one of the calmest and most comforting parts of dreaming. Your mind has a huge library of faces stored deep inside it. You don't remember most of them, but your brain does. You have walked past thousands of people in your life. You have seen faces on screens, in crowds, in shops, in pictures, and in small moments you forgot the same day. Your brain saves these tiny pieces without you knowing. A pair of eyes from someone in a bus, a smile from someone at a store, a hairstyle from someone passing by you years ago. The brain keeps these tiny details not as full memories, but as small shapes and patterns. When you dream, the mind uses these pieces like building blocks. It blends them together to create new faces that feel complete. A stranger in your dream might have eyes from someone you saw once when you were 10 years old. Their voice might come from a movie you watched long ago. Their posture might match a person you never spoke to. Your brain is not trying to confuse you. It is simply using what it already has to create people who fit the dream. And because dreams don't follow normal rules, these new faces feel real, even though they are built from tiny pieces of forgotten life. It takes shapes it knows, eyes, a mouth, hair, expressions, and mixes them until it forms a face that has never existed anywhere. Your brain is very good at creating human faces. It does it automatically. It knows what looks natural and what doesn't. So the stranger in your dream might be completely new, made from scratch. That is why some dream characters feel so unique. They were created in the moment, perfectly shaped for the dream scene. You might notice that dream people often act strangely or speak in short, simple sentences. That is because your brain is not writing long conversations. It is only giving the character just enough personality to serve the feeling of the dream. Dream people are emotional symbols made to express something your mind is processing. They don't need full stories. They just need one emotion, one action, or one moment, and that is enough for your brain to use them. Sometimes dream strangers feel friendly. They make you feel safe. They guide you through the dream without saying much. These characters appear when your mind wants comfort. Your brain builds them as gentle helpers who make the dream feel warm and calm. Even if you don't know them, they feel familiar in a soft way. They carry a peaceful energy that comes from your own inner calm. Other times, dream strangers feel confusing or neutral. They walk past you without interacting. They appear in the background like extra people in a movie. These characters happen because your brain needs to fill the scene. Just like a real world has people everywhere, your brain builds its dream world with the same logic. The strangers don't mean anything. They are simply there so the dream feels complete. And sometimes dream strangers feel strange or intense, but not because they want to scare you. They appear when your brain is dealing with tension or unsolved feelings. Their expression or behavior might reflect something you felt in the day but didn't think about. It's not the stranger you react to. It's the emotion behind them. Your mind uses their face to hold that feeling for a moment so it can release it. Once the feeling is gone, the stranger disappears. There are also dream characters who seem to understand you. They speak softly. They look at you like they know what you're feeling. They sometimes say things that feel deep or meaningful. These characters come from the wise parts of your mind. Your brain creates them when you need reassurance or guidance. It is your own inner voice, but shaped as a person so it feels easier to listen to. Some dreams build groups of people, crowds, families, teams, entire rooms filled with faces. This happens because your brain can generate faces very quickly. It builds simple versions of people for the background. They might not have full detail. They may not fully move. They exist only to fill the space. Your brain is painting a scene, and part of that scene is the presence of other humans. It makes the dream feel alive. You may also meet people in dreams who feel like you've known them forever, even though you've never seen them before. This happens because your brain gives the character a strong emotional color. It links them to a feeling like trust, comfort, joy, or curiosity. That emotional link makes you feel close to them, even if they were created seconds ago. When you wake up, you sometimes miss them, even though they never existed. That is your brain showing how powerful emotional memory can be. There is another gentle reason strangers appear in dreams. Your brain practices social skills in your sleep, not in a serious way, but in a peaceful, quiet way. It builds people so you can rehearse emotions like kindness, patience, connection, or understanding. These dream interactions help the mind stay balanced. They help you learn without pressure. They help your brain stay calm in the real world. Sometimes the brain reuses the same stranger again in different dreams. When this happens, it doesn't mean the person is special. It means your brain found a character design it likes using. It may be a face that carries a certain emotion easily. It may be a shape that fits many scenes. The brain reuses what works, just like a movie director using the same actor for different roles. And sometimes a stranger appears only once. They walk into the dream, play their small part, and then disappear forever. They served a simple purpose for the moment. They helped your mind express something that needed release. After that, there is no reason for them to return, and that is okay. One beautiful thing about dream strangers is that they show how creative your mind is. Even when you are asleep, even when your body is still, your brain is building entire people out of tiny pieces. It shapes their eyes, their voices, their movements, their energy. And it does all of it with ease. You are carrying a quiet artist inside you, and dreams are one of the places where that artist comes alive. So the next time you see someone in a dream who you've never met, you can think of them as a creation of your own mind. A gentle visitor shaped from memories, pieces of imagination, and emotions that needed to be felt. They are not random. They are not warnings. They are small reflections of you, built in a soft moment of sleep. And when you wake up, even if the stranger fades, the calm they helped create stays inside you. Your brain keeps the feeling even when the face is gone. One of the most peaceful things about dreaming is how your senses come alive, even though nothing around you is real. You can see places that don't exist. You can hear voices no one is speaking. You can feel textures your hands never touch. And somehow all of it feels natural when it happens. It makes you wonder how the brain can create a whole world from nothing. Your senses work inside your brain, not outside your body. And dreaming is the time when your brain plays with them in its own quiet way. When you see something in a dream, your eyes are not doing anything. They are closed. They are resting. But the part of your brain that handles vision is still awake inside. It can light up the same way it does when you look at the real world. It can paint colors. It can shape objects. It can build landscapes and skies and rooms. It can turn small memories into full scenes. So when you see something in a dream, you're actually seeing with your mind, not your eyes. That's why dream images can change fast or blend together smoothly. The brain is not limited by real light or real space. It can show you anything it wants. Hearing works the same way. Your ears are quiet, but your brain remembers sounds so well that it can play those sounds back anytime. It can replay voices you forgot. It can create new voices from imagination. It can build soft music or gentle whispers or echoes that feel like they're coming from far away. Sometimes you hear someone calling your name in a dream. Sometimes you hear footsteps. Sometimes you hear wind or water or quiet breathing. It feels real because the brain activates the part responsible for sound, just like it does when you are awake. And the brain is very good at mixing real memories with new creations to match the feeling of the dream. Touch in dreams is even more surprising. You can feel temperature, you can feel softness, you can feel pressure. You might feel a warm hand, a cool pillow, or the texture of something smooth. None of it is happening to your body. Your body is still, but your brain knows what these sensations feel like, so it can recreate them in perfect detail. It can make your skin think something is touching it even when nothing is there. This is why dream touch sometimes feels lighter or strange. The brain is building it without real signals. It is making a memory come alive in the moment. Smell and taste also appear in dreams, though they are softer and less common. You might smell food, flowers, old places, or rain. You might taste something familiar or something new. These senses are quieter in dreams because the brain uses them less in daily life, but they can still appear when the dream needs them. If a dream reminds you of a place from your childhood, the brain might add the smell of that place without you expecting it. The smell pulls up the emotion behind the memory, and the dream becomes stronger. The most interesting part is that your senses can work together in dreams even better than they do while awake. The brain can link what you see and hear instantly, It can connect what you feel with what you imagine. It can make a small detail, like the sound of water, match the picture of a lake it creates. This is why dreams feel complete. The brain builds the world piece by piece, connecting each sense into one scene. You don't notice the work it's doing. It happens quietly in the background, like a soft orchestra playing at night. Sometimes the brain mixes senses in strange ways. You might hear something and see it at the same time, even if it doesn't make sense. You might feel something warm without knowing where it comes from. You might see colors that come from emotions rather than real things. Dreams don't follow strict rules. They follow feelings. So your senses follow those feelings too. They change to match the mood your mind is exploring. Another calm thing about senses in dreams is how memory changes the experience. You don't see exact copies of places from your past. You see your brain's version of them. A room from your childhood may look right, but slightly different. A city you visited once may appear brighter, wider, or softer. The brain is not rebuilding the place exactly. It is building the feeling of the place. Your senses help shape the emotional version, not the perfect memory. Sometimes your brain uses senses to comfort you. It might recreate the sound of someone you love. It might show you a place where you felt safe. It might let you feel a warm hug or the softness of a blanket. These sensory moments are not random. They come from parts of your mind that want you to feel at peace. Even if the dream fades later, that feeling stays inside you. Your brain gives you a small piece of comfort through senses that feel real. There are also moments when senses in dreams can become unusually strong. Colors might look brighter, sounds might feel close, movements might feel slow or heavy. These strong sensations happen when your brain is processing something important. It might be sorting stress. It might be clearing old emotions. It might be creating a strong scene to help you understand something inside yourself. The senses become vivid because they help your mind focus on what it's healing. Sometimes senses mix with imagination so smoothly that you feel like you are inside a world that follows its own rules. You might float without feeling your weight. You might move without moving your legs. You might see things appear and vanish instantly. The brain can break any rule it wants during dreaming because it is not using the body's real limits. It creates based on emotion, memory, and imagination. Your senses follow the story, even when the story makes no sense in the real world. There are also times when your senses in dreams copy something happening in real life. A sound in the room might turn into part of the dream. A blanket touching your arm might become a hand in the dream. A cold room might turn into a snowy scene. Your brain blends small, real sensations with dream scenes without you noticing. It uses real signals to shape part of the dream world in a smooth and quiet way. Another relaxing thing about senses and dreams is that they help your mind practice situations gently. If you are learning something in real life, you might dream about it. Your senses help the dream feel real enough to rehearse emotions, actions, or ideas. This practice helps you in the real world later. Your brain uses your senses to make the rehearsal feel natural, even though nothing is actually happening. The senses in dreams also show how creative your mind is. It doesn't just copy the world, it improves it. It softens it, it brightens it. It makes scenes feel peaceful or exciting or mysterious. Your brain paints with light, sound, and feeling, and it does all of it without effort. When you wake up, the sensory details might fade quickly, but the emotions they created stay with you. Your brain keeps the calm, even if the dream colors disappear. The feeling of softness stays in your mood. The echo of a peaceful sound stays in your thoughts. The warmth of a dream moment stays in your body. Your senses inside dreams are not broken or strange. They are simply free. Free from limits. Free from the noise of the waking world. They work gently, quietly, and beautifully, helping your mind explore, heal, and express itself through the soft language of imagination. When you finally fall asleep after a long or tiring day, your mind does something very gentle and comforting. It begins to sort through your thoughts, your feelings, and all the small moments that pass through your mind without you fully noticing. This is the quiet part of sleep that brings a sense of healing, even if you never think about it. Many people feel better in the morning without knowing why, and a large part of that calm comes from what happens inside your dreams. Your brain uses this peaceful time to soften the heavy emotions that you carried during the day, almost like smoothing out wrinkles in a piece of cloth. When a day is stressful, your mind holds on to many emotions at once. You might feel worry, pressure, or even confusion that stays in the background of your thoughts. When you finally sleep, the mind has a chance to breathe. It no longer has to focus on tasks or conversations or decisions. It can finally look at everything from a distance. This peaceful distance helps emotions lose some of their strength. A feeling that seems sharp during the day becomes softer and wider at night, as if the edges are slowly being rounded off. This is one of the reasons dreams feel so strange yet comforting. Your mind is trying to help you heal without waking you up. Sometimes you enter a dream that feels emotional without any clear reason. Maybe you are walking in a quiet place, or hearing a soft voice, or seeing someone from your past. These moments feel meaningful, even if you don't fully understand them. This happens because your mind creates simple scenes to process complicated feelings. It is not trying to tell you a message. It is simply giving your emotions a gentle space to settle. In the dream world, everything becomes easier to touch without fear. You can face an old memory, a stressful thought, or even a confused feeling in a softer, warmer way. People often wake up after a stressful day feeling lighter, even when nothing has changed in the outside world. This happens because the brain carefully works through emotional tension while you sleep. When you dream, your mind separates what truly matters from what does not. It slowly reduces the weight of little worries. It releases extra tension you no longer need. It organizes your emotional energy, the same way someone might clean a room and open a window, letting the air move freely again. Sometimes you may dream of something that made you upset during the day, and even though the dream might feel strange, it helps you feel calmer by morning. This is your mind replaying the feeling in a safe space, free from pressure or judgment. It looks at the feeling from different angles until it becomes easier to handle. The dream might show it in a symbolic form, like a wave, a storm, or even a person you have not seen in years. But the purpose is always gentle. It is there to help you release something heavy without overwhelming you. There are nights when your dreams feel warm and peaceful, even if your day was full of noise. You might feel like you are floating through a calm place, hearing soft sounds or seeing distant lights. These dreams act like a soft blanket around your mind. They help you feel safe and protected, reminding your brain that it is okay to relax. These quiet scenes work like emotional bandages, covering the tired parts of your mind and giving them time to heal. Your brain also uses dreams to help you understand emotions that you did not have time to notice. Maybe you felt hurt or tired or disappointed during the day, but could not pause to think about it. When you sleep, your mind slowly brings these feelings forward in a gentle way. It lets them appear inside a scene where you can feel them without the noise of real life. Some people describe this as dreaming about something they didn't even know was bothering them. But this is simply the mind doing its natural work, helping you become lighter without needing you to think too hard. There is also a peaceful way dreams help you connect with old memories. Sometimes you see a person you miss, or a place you haven't visited in years, or a moment that once brought you comfort. These dreams do not happen by accident. Your brain brings forward memories that can help settle your emotions. It reminds you of feelings that once made you feel safe or understood. Even if you wake up and the memory fades, the emotional effect stays with you through the day. It is like your brain gently whispering that you are still connected to moments that once brought you peace. Even dreams that feel random might be part of this healing process. A strange scene, a sudden image, or an unexpected shift in the story can simply be your brain moving quickly through emotions. It is sorting, balancing, and releasing things that you no longer need. Every small moment inside your dream, even the ones you cannot remember, plays a part in calming your mind. This is why forgetting a dream does not mean it had no effect. Your brain still used it to help you rest more deeply. Some dreams gently show you something you are afraid of, but in a softer form. They help you face it with more courage the next day. They give you a version of the fear that is easier to manage, so when you wake up, the real feeling becomes smaller. This is one of the quietest and most helpful things your dreams can do. They allow you to practice being calm without even knowing you are doing it. When you wake up after a good dream, there is often a warm feeling you can't explain, a sense that things will be all right, a feeling that the world looks a little softer. This feeling is not accidental. It is the result of your brain carefully shaping your emotions during the night. It has cleaned, calmed, softened, and balanced your thoughts in a way that you could not do during the day. Dreams are not just strange stories. They are a natural part of emotional healing. They help your mind breathe. They help your feelings settle. And even when you forget every detail, the comfort stays with you. The gentle work has been done, and your mind wakes up lighter, ready to face a new day with a little more peace inside it. Some dreams come and go quietly, leaving no trace at all, while others return again and again as if they have a purpose. You might wake up sometimes and think, I have seen this before, even though the dream feels just as strange and mysterious as the first time. There is something almost magical about these repeating dreams. They feel familiar but still unknown, like a place you keep visiting without ever choosing to go there. Many people wonder why certain dreams return more than once, and the answer often lies in how the mind tries to process feelings that are not fully understood during the day. When your brain experiences something that feels confusing, emotional, or unfinished, it looks for a quiet moment to work through it. Sleep gives it that moment. If the mind feels that a certain feeling or memory still needs attention, it may create a similar dream again to give itself another chance to understand or release it. They are simply the brain's way of saying, there is something here I still need to sort out. The scene may stay the same, or it may change slightly, but the feeling behind it is what keeps bringing it back. Sometimes these dreams show the same place, like a hallway, a field, or a house you have never seen in real life. The place does not have to be familiar to be important. Your brain uses locations the same way a storyteller uses settings. It creates a background where emotions can be explored without the noise of the outside world. Each time the dream returns, the brain is adjusting the scene, trying to process the same feeling in a new way. It may remove something, add something, or repeat it exactly the same, depending on what you need at that moment. There are times when repeating dreams show the same situation happening again. Maybe you're trying to reach a place but never get there. Maybe you are searching for someone or trying to solve something that never becomes clear. These moments show up because they represent something the mind has not resolved yet. The dream repeats, not to bother you, but to help you complete a feeling that is still open. Even if you never reach the end of the dream, your brain is still doing the slow and gentle work of understanding what that situation means to you emotionally. A repeating dream might not make sense at all, and that is completely normal. The mind does not work with logic when you sleep. It works with emotion, memory, and small pieces of imagination. Sometimes the brain repeats a dream because a certain feeling keeps returning in your waking life. It may be a feeling of pressure, confusion, excitement, or even hope. The dream becomes a mirror that shows your emotional state in a symbolic form. You may not notice these feelings during the day because your mind is busy with tasks, but the dream brings them up where they can be seen more clearly. There are people who experience a repeating dream only during stressful times. When life feels heavy or uncertain, the dream may return to help release some of the pressure. The moment things settle in real life, the dream fades and disappears on its own. This shows how closely dreams are tied to emotions rather than events. They come and go depending on what the mind needs, and they stop repeating once the feeling has been processed enough to bring peace. You might also notice that a repeating dream changes over time. The place may look brighter, the situation may become easier, or the feeling inside the dream may become calmer. This change is a sign that your brain is healing. It is showing the same dream, but in a softer version each time. It means that whatever emotion the dream was connected to is slowly becoming lighter. Even if you don't understand why it is happening, your mind is doing a quiet job of smoothing out something that once felt sharp. Sometimes a repeating dream may include people you know, or even people you do not remember ever meeting. These characters play a part in the emotional theme your brain is exploring. If the same person keeps appearing in a dream, it does not always mean they have a deep meaning. They may simply represent a feeling or a memory your mind is working through. Characters in repeating dreams act like guides, helpers, or symbols that make the emotional process easier to understand. There are also dreams that repeat for many years, coming back on different nights or during different stages of your life. They may show up when you feel emotional pressure, or when something new begins, or when you reach a moment of change. These dreams act like quiet companions. They do not leave because they hold a deep emotional lesson that the mind slowly understands over time. Each return adds a new piece, helping the feeling settle a little more each time. Even when a repeating dream feels strange or confusing, it still has a calming purpose. It gives your mind a familiar path to follow while it releases tension. The repetition can also make you feel more relaxed once you recognize the dream. You know the pattern, and your brain knows what it is here to do. There is comfort in that quiet repetition, even if you do not fully understand the meaning. Some repeating dreams feel peaceful, showing the same warm scene again and again, like a calm beach or a cozy room. These dreams are the mind's way of reminding you of safety and comfort during days when you feel overwhelmed. They act like emotional anchors. They return not because something is wrong, but because your mind wants to protect your peace. Seeing the same calming dream again can feel like coming back to a place that understands you. Other repeating dreams may be more active or emotional, but not harmful. They continue because your mind is trying to express something in the only way it knows how, and every time the dream appears, it carries less weight than before. The brain lets go of the emotion, little by little, gently turning a heavy feeling into something manageable. When you wake up from a repeating dream, it is normal to feel curious about why it returned. But you don't need to know the full reason for it to help you. The dream's purpose is not for you to analyze. Its purpose is to work quietly in the background, helping your emotions soften. What matters most is the feeling you carry into the next day, a little lighter, a little clearer, and a little more peaceful. Repeating dreams are one of the mind's ways of healing. They return to guide your emotions toward balance. They return to help you understand yourself without words. And they return until your brain feels ready to let them go. Even if you forget the dream by morning, the healing still happens. Your mind wakes up with less weight, ready to start again with a calmer and steadier heart. Imagine lying in bed and knowing, even while you are asleep, that you are in a dream. It feels strange but calm, like stepping into a secret world where nothing can truly harm you. This is lucid dreaming, a state where awareness meets sleep. The moment you realize, I am dreaming, a subtle shift happens in your mind. You are still in the dream, but a quiet part of you knows it is not real. This awareness does not pull you out of sleep. Instead, it allows you to experience the dream with a gentle control, like being a passenger who can look around and understand the scenery while still resting completely. Lucid dreams can appear naturally or through practice. Some people wake up one morning and remember a dream where suddenly they knew they were dreaming. Others learn to notice subtle signs during sleep, like noticing strange changes in time, odd objects, or impossible actions. When these signs appear, the mind can catch itself mid-dream and quietly recognize the dream state. There is no rush or panic, only a calm, soft knowing that you are in a space created by your imagination. This gentle awareness is what makes lucid dreaming feel so safe and relaxing. Being aware inside a dream changes the way you feel in that world. Normally, dreams sweep you along, and you react to events as if they are real. But in a lucid dream, the brain holds both imagination and reason together. You might see an impossible landscape, like a floating city or a river of light, and instead of feeling confused or scared, you can simply observe. You can even explore freely, walk through walls, or fly without fear. The awareness does not force you to act or solve anything. It is simply a calm observation, a quiet appreciation of the dream's strange beauty. Lucid dreaming also allows gentle participation in the dream. You can decide to move or interact with the dream, but only in a way that feels comfortable. Some people like to explore new places, meet characters, or solve puzzles, while others prefer to simply watch. The choice is yours, and the mind remains calm because it knows there is no danger. every action is safe, every decision contained within the dream. This sense of security is why many people find lucid dreams both thrilling and deeply relaxing at the same time. The science behind lucid dreaming is fascinating. During sleep, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for reasoning and self-awareness, usually quiets down. This is why most dreams feel automatic and often illogical. In lucid dreams, however, a small part of the prefrontal cortex reactivates. This allows reasoning to coexist with the natural flow of the dream. The result is a state where imagination runs wild, yet awareness gently holds it in balance. You are both a participant and an observer, creating a sense of calm control over the dream without disturbing the sleep process. Many people experience a mix of emotions in lucid dreams. Some dreams bring excitement and curiosity, while others offer comfort and relaxation. Knowing that the dream is not real allows the brain to explore feelings freely. Fear can be softened, worries can be seen from a safe distance, and joy can be experienced without any risk. The dream becomes a playground for emotions, a place where the mind can feel fully alive while the body rests completely. This gentle emotional processing is one reason why lucid dreams can feel so refreshing after waking. Lucid dreaming can also enhance creativity. When the mind is aware within a dream, it can experiment without limits. Many artists, writers, and inventors have reported finding inspiration from their lucid dreams. The calm yet aware state of the mind in these dreams allows creative thoughts to emerge without the usual pressure or constraints of waking life. Practicing lucid dreaming can be done gently and safely. One method is to notice details during the day, asking yourself, "Am I dreaming?" Then this habit carries over into sleep. Another method is to keep a dream journal, writing down your dreams each morning. Over time, your mind becomes better at recognizing patterns and signs, making lucid dreaming more likely. There is no rush or stress in this process. The goal is not to force control, but to cultivate awareness softly, allowing the dream mind to feel secure while exploring freely. Even within lucid dreams, the experience remains soothing. You can move slowly, take in the sights, or simply float through the dream without doing anything at all. There is no need to confront fears unless you choose to. The gentle awareness allows the brain to experience a sense of safety and calm while remaining active in imagination. Lucid dreaming becomes a space where the mind can rest in a new way, awake enough to notice, but asleep enough to relax deeply. Many lucid dreamers notice a change in their waking life. Because they experience calm control in the dream world, they sometimes feel more confident, relaxed, or creative during the day. The quiet mastery of a lucid dream can influence emotions, helping the brain understand that safety and calm are possible even in unusual or unknown situations. The mind practices balance in sleep, and this practice carries over into waking thoughts and feelings. Lucid dreaming is not about having perfect control. Sometimes the dream will surprise you, or characters will act unexpectedly. That is part of its gentle beauty. The awareness allows you to notice these surprises without fear. You can choose to participate, step back, or simply observe. Each experience is a small lesson in accepting what comes naturally while staying softly aware. The dream becomes both a teacher and a sanctuary, offering insights without pressure. The mind moves easily between awareness and immersion, allowing a mix of gentle curiosity and quiet rest. Even brief moments of lucid dreaming can leave a lasting sense of calm and wonder. Waking from a lucid dream often feels like returning from a peaceful adventure, carrying a sense of quiet clarity and soft energy into the day. Lucid dreaming also helps with understanding your own mind. By observing how your thoughts, feelings, and memories appear in the dream world, you learn more about yourself in a safe, calm environment. The mind practices reflection without judgment. Emotions can be explored, questions can be asked, and imagination can play, all while the body sleeps completely. It is a rare opportunity to see the workings of the mind in action, without stress, without risk, and without expectation. Finally, lucid dreaming reminds us of the mind's extraordinary abilities. Even during sleep, it can be aware, creative, and emotionally intelligent. It shows that rest does not mean inactivity. Awareness can coexist with relaxation. In this gentle state, the mind practices understanding, calmness, and imagination. Lucid dreams offer a private world, safe, soothing, and full of wonder, where the mind can explore while the body rests. With practice and patience, anyone can experience the soft magic of being awake in a dream and let it fill the night with calm, imaginative, and peaceful moments. That strange feeling happens because time in dreams works very differently from time in waking life. While you sleep, your brain creates a world where minutes can stretch into hours, and short moments can feel like entire adventures. It is as if your mind has a secret clock that does not follow the usual rules. This makes dreams feel longer, more detailed, and sometimes even more meaningful than the real time you have slept. The way the brain perceives time during dreams is fascinating. When we are awake, our brain uses many signals from the body and the outside world to measure time. Heartbeats, breathing, movement, and light all help us understand how long something lasts. But during sleep, many of these signals slow down or change. Our bodies are still, our eyes are moving in quiet patterns, and our senses are mostly disconnected from the real world. The brain no longer has the same cues to measure seconds and minutes, so it relies on internal rhythms instead. These internal rhythms can stretch moments, making short experiences feel much longer. One reason dreams feel extended is because of the way the brain processes memories and emotions. During sleep, the brain is actively reviewing the day, sorting memories, and combining them with older experiences. This process happens quickly, but it can create the sensation that a lot of events have taken place. In other words, your mind is packing hours of experience into a few real-life minutes. The scenes you see, the conversations you have, and the emotions you feel all feel rich and detailed, even if the actual sleep time is brief. This compression of experience makes dreams feel like long journeys, filled with sights and stories that seem to last much longer than they really do. Another factor is the brain's use of imagination and creativity while dreaming. In dreams, logic is relaxed and events do not follow strict sequences. Scenes can change suddenly, characters can appear out of nowhere, and locations can transform in an instant. Because the mind can jump between ideas and images freely, it feels like more time has passed. You may move from a city to a forest to a mountain in moments, and each place can feel fully lived. In waking life, moving through these scenes would take hours, but in dreams, your brain creates the illusion of extended time while still letting you rest physically. Scientists have studied this by measuring how long people spend in REM sleep, the stage when most vivid dreams occur. During REM, the brain is very active, almost as active as when awake. Even though a REM session may last only 20 to 30 minutes, people often report dreams that feel like they have lasted an hour or more. This shows that the brain can expand the perception of time independently of the body's actual clock. The experience is entirely subjective, based on how the mind constructs the dream world and its events. Interestingly, the sense of time in dreams is not always accurate. Sometimes a dream can feel like it lasted hours, but only a few minutes have passed in real life. Other times, a long night of sleep can include dreams that seem to pass in a moment. This shows that the mind is not measuring time in the same way it does when awake. Instead, it measures experiences, emotions, and events. A dream filled with intense activity, excitement, or curiosity may feel longer because the brain records and processes so much content in a short span. Calm dreams with little movement may feel shorter, even if they actually occur during a longer period of sleep. One reason for this time distortion is that the brain is focusing inward during dreams. External cues like clocks, sunlight, or sounds are mostly absent. Without these references, the brain relies entirely on internal experiences to judge duration. Every step, sight, and conversation is interpreted as meaningful, and the brain expands these moments to create a sense of richness. This makes dream time feel elastic. Even small moments, like walking across a room or speaking with a dream character, can feel like extended experiences because the mind invests energy in imagining details. Emotions also play a key role. Strong feelings, whether joy, fear, or wonder, make the brain perceive time as longer. In dreams, emotions are often intensified because the prefrontal cortex, which normally manages logic and reasoning, quiets down during sleep. Without that part of the brain moderating reactions, experiences can feel bigger and more intense. This means a few minutes of fear and a nightmare can feel like an eternity, while a few moments of happiness in a dream may feel like hours of bliss. The brain measures not seconds, but emotional depth, which stretches time further. Some researchers believe that this time stretching serves a purpose. By allowing the brain to experience long, complex sequences in a short period, dreams may help with memory consolidation and problem-solving. The mind can rehearse social situations, plan solutions, and integrate learning as if it had many hours to do so. This may be one reason why dreams sometimes seem to replay recent events with variations, or why creative insights can come from short naps. Even a few minutes of sleep can feel like a long period of practice for the mind. Dreamers often notice that adventures in dreams are vivid and detailed, yet the real time is short. You might explore a whole city, meet multiple characters, and experience a full story, all while the clock shows only 30 minutes have passed. This shows how efficiently the brain compresses experiences. Every image, sound, and sensation is packed into the dream timeline, making your mind feel as if you have been awake for much longer. Interestingly, lucid dreaming can amplify this effect. When a dreamer becomes aware that they are dreaming, they may notice the flexibility of time even more. The mind can move freely, experience multiple events in sequence, and explore different outcomes. Because awareness is active, but the body remains asleep, time feels both real and stretched. Lucid dreamers often report feeling like they have spent hours or even days in a dream, even when only a short REM cycle has occurred. This demonstrates the extraordinary power of the brain to manipulate the perception of time while resting. Even dreams that feel short can leave a lasting impression. The brain's compression of time does not reduce the intensity or meaning of the dream. You may wake up remembering a full story, complete with emotions, characters, and events, even if it happened in just a few minutes of actual sleep. This is part of what makes dreaming so fascinating. It shows how subjective experience can differ from reality, and how the brain can create a world that feels much larger than the real clock allows. In the end, the sense of extended time in dreams is a reminder of how flexible and powerful the brain is. Dreams allow the mind to explore, experiment, and process experiences in a condensed, imaginative way. They stretch moments, enhance emotions, and give the mind a sense of freedom from the rules of the waking world. By understanding how dreamtime works, we can appreciate the quiet magic of sleep, where short hours become long adventures, and every night offers journeys that feel as real as the day itself. When we wake up in the morning, we often notice that our dreams seem to vanish like mist in the sun. One moment, the dream feels vivid and alive, full of colors, sounds, and emotions. The next moment, as we open our eyes, it slips away, leaving only fragments behind. This fading is completely normal, and it happens because of the way our brains transition from sleep to wakefulness. During sleep, the brain is in a special mode, focused on imagination, memory, and emotion. When we wake, it switches back to the state that deals with the real world, and the dream world slowly shuts down. Understanding why this happens can help us appreciate dreams even more, seeing them as a delicate and beautiful part of our nightly rest. One reason dreams fade so quickly is called sleep inertia. This is the groggy period right after waking, when the brain is still adjusting from sleep to full alertness. In this time, short-term memory is fragile, and dream content is especially vulnerable. Even if a dream felt long and detailed while asleep, the memory can vanish in seconds if not captured. That is why keeping a notebook by your bed or a voice recorder nearby can be helpful. Writing or recording even a few words immediately after waking preserves pieces of the dream that might otherwise disappear. Without such immediate attention, the brain moves on, prioritizing the tasks of the day over the stories that played while you slept. The way the brain organizes memories also explains why dreams fade. During sleep, the hippocampus and other memory centers are active, replaying events, emotions, and images from the day. The brain uses dreams as a kind of workshop, sorting out what is important and what can be let go. When we wake, these memories are partially processed, and dreams that were once vivid may no longer seem significant to the waking mind. The brain is very efficient this way. It protects us from being overloaded with too much information while still keeping the lessons and emotions that matter. Another factor is the change in brain activity when we wake. While dreaming, especially during REM sleep, certain areas of the brain are very active, including those related to imagination and emotion. The prefrontal cortex, which handles logic, planning, and self-awareness, is quieter, allowing the dream to feel real and immersive. When we wake, the prefrontal cortex comes back online. Suddenly, the dream world seems strange or impossible, and the mind focuses on reality. This shift helps explain why dreams often feel bizarre or nonsensical once we are awake. What seemed natural in the dream now appears confusing, and our memory of it begins to dissolve. The sensory changes between sleep and waking also contribute to fading dreams. In dreams, the brain generates images, sounds, and feelings without relying on the senses. When we wake, our eyes, ears, and other senses start sending signals from the real world. The dream world becomes less important, and our memory of it fades as we focus on our surroundings. This is why a dream that felt like a long adventure can vanish quickly once the alarm clock rings or sunlight touches our skin. Emotions play an interesting role in the fading of dreams. Strong emotions during a dream can make it more memorable, while calm or neutral dreams tend to disappear faster. Nightmares, for example, are often easier to recall because the fear or anxiety leaves a strong trace in memory. Happy or adventurous dreams may linger slightly longer than ordinary ones, but even these eventually fade if we do not capture them. The brain prioritizes waking emotions and experiences over the ones created in sleep, which is why dreams often feel like a secret world we can only visit at night. Timing also matters. Dreams that occur closer to waking tend to be remembered better. The later stages of sleep, especially the last REM cycles, produce dreams that are more detailed and emotionally charged. If you wake directly from these dreams, you may remember them vividly. But if you sleep through or wake after a long pause, even vivid dreams can fade completely. This is one reason why people who wake naturally at the end of a sleep cycle often recall their dreams better than those who are abruptly awakened by an alarm during deep sleep. The brain gives priority to the final dreams, but even these will disappear if not attended to immediately. The fleeting nature of dreams is part of what makes them so special. Each night, the mind creates a private theater that cannot be fully captured. The images, sounds, and emotions belong only to the dreamer while asleep. Once we wake, the dream fades, leaving only hints, feelings, or brief snapshots. This impermanence reminds us that dreams are not meant to last forever. They are gentle, temporary experiences, like a soft song or a passing cloud, meant to soothe, teach, or inspire us without taking permanent space in our minds. Interestingly, dreams can sometimes influence the day even if they are forgotten. Studies show that even when we do not remember a dream clearly, the brain may retain its emotional or creative effects. A problem we were thinking about while awake may be solved subconsciously through dreams. Emotions processed during sleep can make us feel calmer, more rested, or more ready to face challenges. In this sense, dreams leave a subtle imprint, even if the story itself is gone. They are like invisible threads weaving through our minds, quietly supporting memory, learning, and emotional balance. There are also ways to gently hold on to dreams without fully controlling them. Talking about dreams with someone shortly after waking can help preserve fragments. Sharing the imagery, feelings, or even just the sense of a scene keeps the memory alive a little longer. Some people use creative techniques like drawing or writing about their dreams immediately after waking. These small actions do not stop the natural fading process entirely, but they allow us to carry pieces of the dream world into our waking life. This can be relaxing and inspiring, and it shows respect for the subtle work our minds do while asleep. The fading of dreams is not something to fear or regret. It is a natural, calming process that helps the mind transition smoothly from sleep to wakefulness. Just as the body rests, the dream world closes gently, making room for the day ahead. Accepting the impermanence of dreams can make sleep feel more peaceful, knowing that each night brings a private adventure that supports the mind, even if it cannot last. In the end, dreams slipping away when we wake is a reminder of how delicate and precious they are. They are temporary gifts from our sleeping minds, giving us experiences, emotions, and quiet lessons that exist only in that perfect moment between sleep and wakefulness. Each morning, as the dream world fades, we carry with us the gentle feelings, insights, and memories that remain, even if the story itself is gone. Appreciating this process can help us feel more connected to the magic of our minds, and more relaxed as we sleep, knowing that the world of dreams is always waiting to welcome us again.